Hello and welcome to Stage, Screen, and In Between. I'm Helen, and today our show is coming to you from beautiful St. Maarten. And I have with me very special guests, old friends of mine, very talented musicians and singers. I have Susan.
Hello.
And Cliff.
Hey.
They're performing right now in St. Maarten at the Red Piano, but that's not all that they do. Susan, it's so good to see you. It's been, a couple of years because COVID stopped everything, right?
It sure has. It's been, well, we weren't here last year, of course, because of COVID. So 2019, it's been 2 years exact since we've been back.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's great to be here. It's been like the island feels normal now. Hurricane Irma hit, and then we had COVID. So it was like so many whammies for the island, but it really honestly feels great this month. I think things are coming back.
Yeah. And how about you, Cliff? You glad to be back?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's been really great seeing everybody and seeing our island family this year and this month. It's been so good to see everybody dancing and singing and having a good time again.
Yeah, isn't that the truth? Everybody looks forward to you coming to St. Maarten because you're here for the month of November every year. How many years is it now?
I started in 2010, and he joined me in 2016. We got married in 2017. Woo! And so I guess 5 years for you now, right? Yeah.
So tell everybody how you coped during COVID because you were isolated, but yet you did a lot online. Tell everybody what you did.
Well, I think, yes, of course. So I think we all in the music industry and maybe in the world remember middle of March. And I will never forget March 15th was our last show in Arkansas. And we had a full year of bookings that we were planning on. And we make most of our revenue from touring and our live shows. And that Saturday night, no one was there at the casino. No one was at the show. And normally we would have had a packed house. And I just got this gut feeling. And then it wasn't 48 hours later, we lost all of our gigs for the foreseeable future. And so we went into survival mode. And I'd say, like most creatives, we got creative. And we, I'll make it short because there's a lot that we did, but we streamed over 200 live shows online to our fan base online and made more fans that way. And I pulled a sewing machine out of the closet because my mom told me how to taught me how to sew, and I taught Cliff to cut the fabric and cut the cords, and we sewed over 2,000 masks and sold them, and that was before anyone could find a mask. I mean, it was like there was a mask shortage on the N95s, and there were no cloth masks, so we were kind of the first to figure that out, and so through the generosity of our fan base and those who ordered those masks, we financially survived.
Wow, that's terrific. Now, you also built a studio, didn't you?
Yes, we had our studio. We actually moved during COVID to a new place, which is actually my sister and brother-in-law. They built a new home, so we moved into their home, their older home. And so they just happened to have a building outside of their home that they used just as a shop. And so we remodeled it and completely built it out into a studio. So we just got it finished and then left to come here. So yeah, we're very, very excited about everything that we're going to be doing in there.
Oh, now I was noticing at the Red Piano that you have a list of songs that people can request because you play the piano and sing. You play the guitar and fiddles and other instruments, I imagine, right? What instruments?
Several other instruments. During our show, I only play fiddle and guitar, but I play bass, drums, some piano, dobro, banjo, mandolin, a slew of other instruments.
Yeah, but I was very impressed because at the Ready, you have 300 songs that you can do at your fingertips. Well, that's quite an accomplishment.
Well, we have more than that, but so what we did on the list, because after almost 20 years of doing a cover show, you learn songs. That's kind of your job, is to learn songs that people request. And so one of the things we found and I learned over the years is that if you give people a starter list, it's almost like when you sit down at the table and you look at the menu of the restaurant, you look at the song menu, if you want to call it that, and there's about 300 songs on that list, front and back, laminated, so if somebody spills a drink on it, that's no problem. We keep using them, we clean them every night. And it's a good mix of country, rock, oldies, and blues, and it's good for the quality of our show, because if someone requests off that list, then we know, obviously we know it, and they have confidence that we know it. And then we also encourage on that list to try us if you don't see your song, and we get a lot of great requests that aren't on the list as well, and we know lots that are on, not on the list. So
Yeah. One of the really popular requests I find is "The Devil Came Down to Georgia" or "Went Down to Georgia."
Devil went down to Georgia.
The Devil
Yes.
went down to Georgia.
Everybody, if you are definitely from the South in the U.S., you know that song, and many other people know that song. If you're a country music fan, it's just a staple fiddle song that everybody loves it. It's just got a lot of these moments that are created in the song, and you get some crowd participation in there. And recently, I've gotten a new electric violin, which it looks really cool, and I've got a wireless for it, so I can get up and get on the piano and run around or do whatever. So always joke, because if I could stay in my seat, and it's cool, but it's like 50 times cooler to everybody apparently when I get on the piano. It's the same song, but I'm on top of a piano, elevated on the floor. So.
Well, the devil opened up his case and he said, "I'll start this show." The fire flew from his fingertips as he crawled up the bow. Well, they pulled the bow across the strings and it made an evil hit. Playing the demons going in and sounded something like
Now, Susan, you guys also started a music festival. You want to tell everybody about that?
Sure. In 2019, before COVID, one of our long-term goals is to continue to grow our music business in Arkansas. And I think I'm addicted to seeing people have fun. I like to call myself an engineer of fun. And one of the things we've always wanted to do was have our own music festival. And so we call it Yodeloo. It's like y'all and yodeling. We just came up with a funny name that's catchy and that was unique and sounded country. So Yodeloo Music and Arts Festival, we won the Best Music Festival of the Year award in Arkansas. And then COVID happened and we had to go virtual, and we're still alive. We're planning on May 21st of next year in 2022. So if you go to yodeloo.com, you can find all of our festival stuff.
Okay, so what would be the criteria to get into the festival?
For an artist or to attend?
For an artist.
An artist, okay, so they can go to yodeloo.com and you can submit. There's an artist talent sign up there, and that comes to us, and we have a database of artists. And one of the cool things about us is that it's not just the music festival. When you submit to be a part of anything musical with us, there are so many ways we can incorporate you into. I book a venue in Arkansas. We work with tons of venues to help them find other talent and bands that want, that they need. So we act a lot of pro bono work, to be honest, just making sure that people are getting work. And I don't want to really be a booking agency. I've got too many hats that I wear already. But we can help you, and we do multiple events. We host a monthly showcase that's an online showcase currently, but we'll be live, and it's something we could incorporate you in. To our festival, we only have so many slots, so it gets real tricky, but we would love for anyone to be a part of all we do.
So now you're also going to be starting training or mentoring online, am I correct?
Yeah, so Susan is incredible at just her ability to be able to take in all of this information and share it and help people. And we work with a lot of different artists to build their independent music career, because being an independent musician now is so much different than it was 10 or 20 years ago. And
3 years.
even 3 years.
Really?
It's constantly changing, and so is Susan, constantly learning how to better her career and our career and other artists' careers. So we have a variety of ways to help people, and she can tell you more.
That was a great way. I'm proud of you, Cliff. He's got our sales pitch down already. I think ultimately it's in my nature to always, like I say, my motto is learn, grow, share, and repeat. So I learn something, and then I grow from that, and then I always want to turn around and share it with others, and then just repeat that process. And as we live in the technology age, the music industry has evolved so much, and it can make your head spin as an independent artist, and just trying to make sure you're doing the right things to monetize your business, to be successful, to hopefully do it as a career. And those are the things that are near and dear to my heart, because we've learned and done that over these years. And so turning around and helping others be successful is in my heart. And so packaging that into a way that I can help the most people and make the most impact is my goal for 2022. I can't say the word. 2022.
You hear people use the term making it. They made it in the business. They made it in the music business. What is your connotation of making it? What does that mean?
Are you happy? And I think because I say, are you happy? Because money can be a factor. If you don't have enough money to survive and be financially secure with your music income, then that can be a factor of not being happy. But if I've also seen a lot of people do things for just money, but they're not happy. So I think ultimately, are you happy? And what is that? I think you need to do a gut check on is, will I be okay touring as an artist and being able to produce music and write music and get it out to the masses, which like no ever time in the world have we been able to do that as an indie artist. You can do that yourself now. So figuring out how to be a small business and be able to support yourself. I think ultimately most of us just want to be able to make a good music living and be able to continue to grow in that art form and to survive financially. But maybe it's you want the label deal one day, and that's certainly attainable, but you have some steps these days to get to that point.
Yeah. Now, your background wasn't in, you loved music and you played the piano and you can sing, but your background and your education is not in that. What was your education?
I went to school for math and science. I was pre-medicine, and I ended with a pure mathematics degree and went to corporate world as a radio frequency engineer. And I discovered piano bars by going to them in Little Rock, Arkansas, and just loved it. Always played piano, was scared to sing, and I just saw the magic of music connecting with people in the crowd, and how a piano and these performers doing these fun things, and it was just a blast. And we'd go back over and over, and I said, I want to try it. So a few liquid courage shots, and I got up there and played some very boring Sarah McLachlan song. Not that her music isn't good, but not necessarily the greatest song to play in a high energy club. But I was able to meet those guys, and they trained me, and so that's how I found music.
Yeah. So now what about you, Cliff? Because Susan was already touring and doing the red piano, etc. Where did you come from? I didn't mean it like that. No, I mean because I know Susan for a few years. I saw you, and the next thing I know, she tells me she's getting married, and I said, well, you're going to keep your name ahead of his, aren't you? Because it's Cliff and Susan. I thought it should be Susan and Cliff. But after, no, but can I tell you, after hearing, you're wonderful, but after seeing him, what he does, I'm saying she was right. I mean, yeah.
Well, the difference there is that she studied and I practiced. while she was getting good grades in high school, I was learning how to play Eruption by Van Halen or something. I don't know. So not that I didn't study. I did. It just wasn't my forte. School. I mean, I did well in school, but I didn't pursue college. I moved to Nashville. I pursued music career, and I actually did, for a short time, my grandfather ended up getting sick, and I moved back home from Nashville and took a job as a pharmaceutical technician. So I did some different things than just music, but we just ended up being at the same place one night at Willie D's, a piano bar in Little Rock where we live currently, and so she happened to be there the same night I was, and we kind of hit it off, and everything prescribed.
A match made at the piano.
I said I need that fiddle player.
Now, what is your favorite genre of music? Is it country? Is it rock and roll? What is it?
You know, I really don't have a favorite. I obviously, when you come and see our show, we do a lot of country music, and being that I'm a fiddle player, you'd think, country. And I also have a bluegrass band that I play back with at home called the Gravel Yard Bluegrass Band. And so I have roots there, but I love all kinds of music. I was just studying Django Reinhardt and learning a solo from his, and he's a gypsy jazz musician. So I draw inspiration from all kinds of music. So.
I wanted you guys to know, and you probably know, but I'm going to tell you again, that when the audience sees you, our conversation, other than dancing and having a good time, is, oh my God, they're so amazing. They're wonderful. They're terrific. I mean, we've never seen talent like this. I mean, that's how talented you are. Everybody is like, why doesn't the whole world know about Cliff and Susan?
Well, now they will, because we've been on your show and they're going to see it.
Yes. The 5 people that are watching, we appreciate it.
No, it's honestly, that is really very awesome for you to say that, because I mean,
awesome. The woman that I was talking to the other night when I was there, she was from Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. And that, other than dancing and having fun, and I know you were wondering where I went when I led the train around the. I saw her go, because I used to do interactive theater, and that was one of the things we had to do was get people up. Yeah. So I figured, let me head down this way, and all the deadheads that are sitting in the middle, I'll try to get them up. And I saw her go to. Where is she going? And I went down, and I came around, and I came back, and I said to this woman from Wisconsin, I said, we didn't get one person. All I came back with was the 10 people that were behind me. I couldn't get anybody
but that
up.
Was 10 people. That was good.
But what I wanted to say was, she was telling me that she was very excited because you're coming to Wisconsin, because you're going to be opening at Kalahari.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Kalahari, we got connected with the owner of, and I guess there are 5 locations she was talking about earlier. And I think he was friends with Drew.
He owns a villa here.
Yeah, he owns a villa here, but I think he was friends with Drew at the piano bar, and and has seen us, and so he was like, I've got to have them for my grand opening.
Yeah.
And so we were lucky enough to be able to get a contract opening their grand opening there in Wisconsin.
I love Kalahari because there's one in Pennsylvania, and that I think is like the largest water park on the East Coast, and I don't know if this one will be even bigger, but I hope you'll be coming up this way, to Pennsylvania.
So I know he has 5 locations, and he has opened one, Red's. It's called Red's Piano Bar in Texas, and I think the Texas location is technically the largest indoor water park now that he's continued to open them. But He doesn't know. Cliff, we'll have to find out.
I looked up because Sally is also coming from Wisconsin. I don't know. That might have been who you were talking to.
Yeah, that was her name.
Yeah, Sally.
Sally.
She had looked it up on her phone, and when she looked it up, the Wisconsin location at the Dells, it said largest in the nation. So I think that might be the largest
So they're gonna top Pennsylvania because up in Mount Pocono, there's a Kalahari that's beautiful. Yeah. And I really hope you'll be coming that way too.
I'm hoping they open one, and so they're opening a piano bar in the resorts, and so we get to grand open the one at Dells in Wisconsin. So there is one in Texas that has the Reds, and then now we've got Dells opening, and we'll see. Hopefully the next one will be there.
And you also play at the racetracks, right?
We have a contract every race season. It's the Thoroughbred Racing in Hot Springs, Arkansas, my home city, and we have been there for maybe 6 years now. But we perform. We're that kind of the house band, and we perform right after the races every Friday, Saturday.
That's cool. You know, I used to work for Thoroughbred Racing myself.
You told me about the horses and all that.
Yeah. But you've done so much, and you're doing so much. Where do you want to go? Where do you hope to go? Or you just going day by day? Do you have like an ultimate fantasy goal?
I'm constantly planning and have goals. I have short and long-term goals. We would like to start a family, so that really drives a lot of our business back home, to know that we have a stable income if we so choose to take a brief pause from touring, and you never know where that will take us, because I know kids can change your life. Yeah. I know plenty of people have been successful have been successful with having kids in a music career, but the reality is that we do have to have some stable roots back home, and I don't really want to do anything other than music, so we have to get creative and grow our music business back home. Yeah. And I think that ultimately we just want to have a successful music production company that we can continue to always create music and art and help others do that as well. And that really is the true underlying sentiment of it all. To put a number or a figure financially on that, I think the sky's the limit for us, but we're doing great now, and we've got some big plans for the next 3 years. And then, but I think family I don't know how you would answer that question, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, you know, what we've built back home at the studio, I know I have personal aspirations at the studio to produce major artists and hopefully one day produce a Grammy-winning album or project or even of my own. I do a lot of writing and I pitch a lot of songs for demo and to Nashville and to other artists. So maybe one day it'll lead me there.
Yeah. So, and we did get accepted to the Recording Academy as voting members this year. So
congratulations.
Now one little step into learning how Grammys work and to be a part of the Recording Academy and help not just ourselves but other artists get in there and nominate and just be a part of that is really cool.
That's wonderful. So now, what does your family think about this hookup? Are they musical people, or they just sit back and listen?
My family has some musical roots. My mom plays piano for the church, and my dad thinks he can sing, and and he will show you. Your family, your dad. Tell her about you.
Yeah, my dad is one of my earliest inspirations. He's a guitarist and singer and songwriter. He was really the only one in my family. None of my other family members, except for my grandfather, played a little bit and was actually my biggest inspiration of pursuing music. Really, my grandparents were both very, very supportive, and still my grandmother is very supportive of my music. Yeah, definitely number one fan. She watches every online show and wishes she could be everywhere we are. So but all of my family loves our music and loves what we do and loves following our just love that we're following our dreams. And
yeah, you are following your dreams, and now you're going to be helping others. Now, when you had the show online during COVID, you also had guests come in, didn't you?
We did. We would produce other artists and help them, be a part of what we were doing. We did some collaborations where they would be on the screen with us. We also streamed live to the back patio of the Red Piano in Santa Barbara, which was cool. So we really leaned on technology to get into all of these creative ways to reach people while we're all being quarantined. And so, we were able to incorporate a lot of,
Yeah, that was one thing about COVID that, everybody was upset that we had to stay in. The world was on lockdown, actually. But just think about if we didn't have all these wonderful ways to communicate. It almost was a breeding ground for advancement in communicating online and virtually. So that, as you had said before, is going to help your business and help people find you and you find them.
What we've seen from a production standpoint is that virtual events are not going anywhere. What we're seeing more is hybrid events, where you've got the live event happening and there is a way to incorporate tastefully a virtual element so that you can still reach more people. For example, a wedding these days, it's more more of a capability to stream your wedding live because the technology is there and people are used to going on and watching thing things online. So like say you want to have a destination wedding, you can still stream it live virtually. But there's a lot of corporate and conferences that are doing the same thing. They've got live ticketed events, but there's still a virtual online component.
And a lot of people are working from home in their pajamas, and now they can, you know, go to a wedding in their pajamas with the suit on top.
Yeah, we just thinking about it, we were actually kind of a little bit ahead of the game with our wedding in 2017. We were streaming that live.
We did. We streamed it live, and because we eloped, like within 3 days, we had a wedding. We had decided, we had been engaged. We decided, let's just do it. We're in Vegas. We were on a contract, and we're like, let's do it. So within 3 days, I had a dress, a venue, a video, a photographer. The venue had a photographer, and then my friend surprised me last minute. Showed up. She held the video camera, which was a Facebook live stream. And if you go to susanerwin.com/wedding, you can still watch our wedding. We had a Chihuahua and a pig and Elvis, and I mean, it was crazy. The Chihuahua threw up on my dress. It made for great reality TV. Yep. So, but it was wonderful. My dad watched from his easy chair back home in Arkansas. Nobody felt obligated to be there, and that was our thing. We didn't want anyone to be left out, and so this was a way for us to do it and connect. That
was cool. So now you had mentioned a website to watch your wedding on. Where else can we follow you?
cliffandsusan.live. That's our landing. That houses everything. As artists, our website's key. So go to cliffandsusan.live. But we are very active on Facebook and Instagram. So you can find us. And everywhere we just use Cliff and Susan. You can spell it out. CliffandSusan. And you'll find us.
Yeah, but you also have Red Dog Productions, right? That's your company?
BigRedDogProductions.com. And then we have Yodaloo.com, our festival. And there was something else. Oh, and you can find our music online on Spotify, Amazon, iTunes, all of the streaming platforms. You can find it. You just type in Cliff and Susan.
Well, I hate to say goodbye, but our time is up, and everybody is going to get to see some of what you do because it's incorporated into the show. And I'll see you guys tonight because you're performing again, and I'm always so excited to see you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us, Helen.
Love having you.
Thank you
good
so
to
much.
see you. And the best of luck and every success to both of you.